So what is a theme? It's usually something people talk about when in literary studies, and they don't necessarily talk about it in game mastering. It's one of the goals of my channel is to combine those worlds. The best definition I can point anyone to is from the movie Moulin Rouge, where the theater troupe is trying to make up a play on the spot because they've got the investor right here, and he is like, well, if I'm going to invest, I'm going to need to know the story. And the producer is like, it's about, and the director's like, the story's about, and the writer says the story's about love, overcoming all obstacles. Because they were trying to come up with locations and conflicts and characters, but they didn't have anything to stick those ideas to until he said, love overcoming all obstacles. But once they have that theme, it's very clear where the story is supposed to go, and they can make it up on the spot. Star Wars is a good example of a thematically driven film because you start with themes of destiny and rags to riches and mysticism needing to reassert its place in a world that's driven by technology. And then all of the characters, events, situations, discussions, dangers, all of those things expose facets of the themes. Even clearer example, if you're watching for it, is Rocky. It's a movie about seizing opportunities, and every other character in that story shows us a different facet of what happens when you do or don't seize opportunities. I won't say theme is the most important thing in a story because there are also stories that are driven by situation, and the Resident Evil movies are an excellent example of this. They aren't about anything like mysticism or opportunity, they're about situations. Zombies in an underground lab, zombies in a town, zombies in the whole world. I didn't see what the situation was after that because I stopped watching. It's not that I didn't like them, it's just that, I kind of caught on to what the series is doing and, okay. And the overarching situation that this zombie plague came from an evil corporation. And every scene in each one of those movies explored a new facet of that situation. But in those cases, that situation does the same thing as a theme. So I guess the point of this video is know what your theme or situation is in your game. And then choose all of your events, encounters, NPCs, dangers, locations, discussions, based on whether or not they serve that overarching theme, or maybe a fundamental theme or situation. That's the core of your game. So which one's better? I think whichever one you choose to run is more a feature of your preferences or your talents. But I will say this, thematically driven stories tend to be more literary, situational stories tend to be more pulpy. It's a spectrum. Thematic stories at their worst are slow, situational stories at their worst are shallow, like a deep river and a shallow stream. I think it's good to offer both in a campaign. The original Star Trek movies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And since you don't want your game to be too slow or too shallow, you should find out which one you're good at and maybe get better at the other one. So you can offer both kinds of storytelling at the appropriate times. So what are some of your favorite themes that you build your games around? Or if you haven't thought in terms of themes and situations before, what are some of the ones you've noticed yourself doing as you run your games? Be sure to subscribe or like the video. I'll see you next week.